I'm tired today. I was working on this video until 12:30 last night and then up again at 6:30 to pack the kids off to school. And this is my second attempt at making this video. The original version was supposed to go out yesterday. I scripted it, I recorded it, I spent hours editing it. And when I was 50% through that editing process, I thought, I'm bored of this video. I don't like it. It's not what I imagined it would be. And I can do better for my 6-month update. So I made the decision to scrap the whole thing and threw away all of that work. And now it's sitting in my editing timeline as a video that will never be made. And instead, you're watching this one, hopefully, if I don't mess it up again. Because even after 6 months on YouTube and 58 videos, it's still hard. And sometimes you put all your effort in and it just goes wrong. I've never scrapped a video entirely before. But have you ever had a video idea in your head and a clear vision of how you want it to be? And it seems like it's going to be amazing. And then it just doesn't turn out the way that you wanted. Maybe you're lacking the skills to make that vision into reality. So you go out and you try to learn one new thing towards that. But it opens up a Pandora's box of multiple other things you now discover you need to know that you didn't even know existed before. You take one step forward and 2 steps back. And you're a team of one. You've got no one to talk to but yourself. And you can't answer your own questions any better than you could yesterday or the day before. And all the while, things are progressing slowly, if at all. And you wonder, why am I even doing this? To me, YouTube's supposed to be about freedom. And one day, for me, I believe that it will be. But when you've been laid off of work and you're trying to grow a channel, like I am, I think you have to take it seriously and treat it like a business. And yesterday, I missed a deadline. Now you could say, oh yeah, but that deadline is one that you made for yourself, so you can just ignore it. And yeah, that's possible. But without discipline and consistency, I think it's going to be a lot harder for you to succeed on YouTube. I have to decide, do I put out content I'm not happy with to meet my deadline and please the algorithm? Or do I miss it to make something that I think is worth my viewers watching? So I went for the second option. But in the end, all the decisions that you make about your YouTube channel and growth, well, for me, my YouTube business, they're all down to you. You're the CEO of your channel. You're also every other role that you can think of to name. You're a one-person army, and everything in the end falls on you. But despite all of this stuff and the responsibility that weighs most heavily on a down day or when you failed, you suddenly get a win. You figure out something new. You get a positive comment on one of your videos or a sudden burst of traction on your channel that feels like it came out of nowhere. And you realize that it isn't as bad as that down day was trying to make it seem. And suddenly the fire's reignited and you're back in the game and you pour all of your energy back into this with renewed enthusiasm and progress starts again. That's the YouTube journey for many people. And some quit when it gets tough. But despite these bad days, I'm still here because I know why I'm doing this. And if I remember to take a pause sometimes and take a look, the progress does become clear. 500 subscribers, not bad. It could be better, it could be worse. But someday, if I keep going, I believe it will be a lot better. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a whole load of really important lessons that I've learned in my first 6 months on YouTube. You might want to take some notes because if you're thinking about starting a small channel or a struggling large one, these things might help. So my first 2.5 months on YouTube, I had a total of 19 subscribers. Not great. Many would have quit, but I didn't. And then I suddenly doubled this to 40 in a single day. Imagine I'd just quit before that. I'd have never known that things were about to change. And from there, I went from 40 to 80 in a week. And by the end of my 3rd month, I hit 170. That's silence for 2.5 months and then massive comparative progress in a few days. But in general, day to day, you might not notice your growth. It seems to grind along so slowly sometimes. But you have to look at the bigger picture because Now, when I sit here and look back at my current progress since that 3-month video, I see again how far I've come. From 170 in my first 3 months to 502 at the time of making this video. That's almost 194% increase in the last 3 months. If I maintain that same rate of increase during the next 3 months, I'll have reached 1,476 subscribers by the end of month 9. And if the watch hours progress the same way, I'll be monetized. But unless we take a step back and take an objective look at ourselves and our progress, sometimes we'll never realize these things could be possible. It's easy to forget how far you've come and what you've learned along the way. So lesson number 1 from my 6 months on YouTube is this. Sometimes you'll feel like you're failing. Sometimes you'll forget how far you've come. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture from time to time. You might be surprised. Make a journal, write things down as you go. That way, you won't forget about the good stuff or how far you've come when things get tough. And remember, you can only really fail if you quit. But you'll never know for sure how long things will take or how the numbers will grow. And my numbers are just projections, but they show me the progress that I've made that sometimes escapes me on a down day. And they give me something to aim for among all the noise and struggle that YouTube throws our way. So the second thing I've learned is have realistic milestones. Measure your progress on reaching the next one and only aim for that. Focus on one small goal, make small improvements on the way there. Realize you've achieved something when you hit a milestone. Look back at what you've done and learned, and then aim for the next one. If you're on 0 subscribers, why are you aiming for 1,000? Sure, that's a long-term goal and should be on your roadmap, but why not aim for 100 instead? Or even better, maybe 10. Or just set your sights on uploading 10 videos. Start with something small and set goals that are closer within reach. They're going to take you to your long-term goals in the end anyway. Lesson 3. Your YouTube journey will be like your analytics, a series of spikes and dips. 1 minute you'll think you have it all figured out, or get that one thing that happens that makes you feel at the top of your game. And then you'll come across something that tries to test your resilience and drag you down into a dip. Just go look at your analytics. You'll see this pattern there too. So when you're in a dip, mentally or statistically, just remember that there's another spike coming and focus on pushing towards that. I used to see my journey to 1,000 subscribers like struggling up a hill. It was a tough climb, and sometimes I got so tired it almost beat me. Almost. But when I hit 500 subscribers, I felt like I'd reached a milestone. Somehow like I had reached the top of the hill, and to get to 1,000 subs now, I just have to make it down the other side. Now it feels like I'm counting down in numbers rather than up. So just 498 left to go then. But it's like the end of winter when you see spring coming. You feel like you can finally see that things are heading in the right direction. And if you're a winter lover, just keep quiet. Don't ruin my metaphor, okay? And look, it's just a psychological shift, a hurdle that I feel like I've overcome. And maybe in practice, nothing's really changed. But at the time I record this, it's changed something for me. And writing all these thoughts and ideas out also helps me to realize truths that I maybe hadn't been able to formulate into thoughts before. Try it out. Make a video about something, and it might help you discover things that you hadn't realized before. If you understand what I mean, or you've experienced something similar, let me know down in the comments below. So lesson 4, stop worrying about the analytics beyond a few basics. There's so much nonsense and contradiction in your analytics that wasting your time on it would be better spent on making better content. While you would have been looking at your analytics, learn one new thing instead. Looking at the analytics won't change or improve them. Learning something new will. Lesson 5, make YouTube friends. Today I'm going to be having a video call with one of my subscribers and YouTube friends. He has a small channel too, and faces exactly the same struggles as the rest of us. Our conversation is going to allow us to share frustrations, put our heads together to find solutions to our problems, and keep us focused on our goals. Having people around you that you can talk to about this YouTube thing that most people in your life probably don't understand is really helpful, especially if you're shut in an office all day with just you and your dog for company, trying to make this thing work while it brings practically zero money. And that's right, I said practically zero money, because I have actually made a very small amount of money from my channel already. But that's my next video, so I'll talk about that more then. But reach out to people who understand. I'm here to help and answer your questions. You just have to ask. Lesson 6. I feel good about my YouTube progress, but still spend 50% of my time feeling like I don't know what I'm doing. You might too, and it's fine. Accept the uncertainty. Many things won't make sense. They probably never will. Analytics is one of them. We all want to know why, or have a clear picture of what to do. Well, here's that clear picture. Focus on what you can improve and measure. Ignore the rest. The rest will sort itself out. When you focus on the things that you can control and change, you're going to increase your chances of fixing the things that you can't. You just need to keep pushing forward regardless. Our choices are always going to be largely a shot in the dark. So are everyone else's. You just need to have the courage to take them rather than avoiding them or giving up like many others. And uncertainty, impatience, comparison, I'm not sure any of that ever goes away. It's more knowing how to control it that makes it possible to keep doing this thing. Lesson 7. Ignore the gurus. Search doesn't work. Your video's dead if it doesn't perform in the first 48 hours. You should name your thumbnail properly, because that will somehow help YouTube understand your video. All nonsense. Be careful of these blanket statements that are given out with no evidence presented. A big subscriber count doesn't always equal authority on a subject. I've heard all of these statements and more from certain creators, and I've also found them to be rubbish. In fact, I've proved them to be rubbish. An example: search doesn't work. I have 3 videos I made where I targeted search since my last 3-month update. I've got a video that shows you exactly how to do this, and I'll link that in the description or at the end of this video. But anyway, all of these 3 videos I made that targeted search performed well, and at least 50% of their traffic has come from search. One of them is now my 3rd most viewed video. Now, what about your video's dead if it doesn't perform within the first 48 hours? I have multiple old videos that did nothing at the start, not just for 48 hours either, but for months. And then they suddenly started bringing in views, watch time, and subscribers. The first video I made on this channel sat at 35 views for 75 days. Now it has almost 200 views, has brought in 12 subscribers, and its click-through rate and other analytics are some of the best on my channel. So stop watching the "I know the secrets of the algorithm" or "I'll show you how to get 10,000 subscribers in 2 weeks" videos. Your time will be better spent improving your game rather than playing someone else's. And speaking of improvements, lesson 8, improve your processes and workflow. Every improvement that you make here will make this whole thing easier. If you make content more efficiently, you'll have more time. If you have more time, you can make more content or learn more skills. This will compound over time. I have this video that tells you exactly how to do this, and I'll link it at the end or on the screen. Lesson 9, do as much as you can to grow without it becoming too uncomfortable. A vidIQ study showed that the more videos a channel makes, the faster it grows on average. 12 per month or more was the best for growth. But don't burn out. I plan to make 3 videos per week in my 3-month update video. Since then, I've realized that 2 is much more sustainable for reducing stress and maintaining quality. Do only what you're comfortable with and can realistically achieve without burning out. Lesson 10, understand there's always more work to do. YouTube's a game that you'll never fully complete. For some people, that might sound like a negative. For me, that's one of the things that makes it interesting. And remember, right now, you're doing it all yourself. One day, you might be able to outsource some of the stuff you don't like to other people. But right now, you've got to do it all. So go and get on with it. Lesson 11. Remember why you're doing this. You should have a why. If you don't, go and watch this video to see mine. It might help. Write your why down. When things get hard, go look at it. If you know your why, let me know why in the comments below. Lesson 12. Don't worry about what's missing from your video. No one will probably know except you. I'm a details person. I hate watching a video where I'm trying to learn to do something and I have to go off and watch 5 different videos to find somebody who's provided that key bit of information that all the others missed. But not every video needs this level of detail. Take this video, for example. I could pack it with 1,000 tips and no one would watch 70% of them anyway. And even if they did, they probably wouldn't think about the ones I'd missed, because the only person who knows what you left out is you. Instead, try to deliver a digestible amount of value that people can actually retain, and then take away and put into action. This is something I'm telling you while also telling myself. I need to try and get better at this too. And lesson 13, learn from Bellini. While I sit here slaving away worrying about all this stuff, she sits with me and is the picture of calm and zero worry. She lives in the now and the rest doesn't bother her. She has a lot to teach us, I think. And yeah, this turned out nothing like the first take of this video. But I think this was the video I meant to make when I set out to do this 6-month update. So if you liked it, let me know. And I'm sorry I left the tips at unlucky number 13. I don't think, though, that you'll be unlucky with your YouTube progress if you go and follow these things that I've learned after 6 months full-time on YouTube. Now, I've got loads of exciting things coming up going into 2026 and beyond. Live streaming, potential collaborations, and a follow-up to my most popular video, How I Turned My Small Bad Room into a YouTube Studio, Part 2. I've bought new gear to up my game. I've improved the way I work and the environment I work in. I'm going to share all of this with you soon. I'm going to be doubling down in 2026 and continuing to get better at this. And I'll also continue to share everything with you along the way. If you plan to up your YouTube game too, hit that like and subscribe button, join me on my journey and share yours with me. And I'm here to help. You can contact me with any questions here, by email, or on my school community, which is completely free. I haven't done much there yet, but there's literally a forum where you can ask anything and I'll answer. I need more people there to get it going, and I'll put as much time into it as people ask for. So go and sign up if you want a place to connect with others, and check out these videos for more inspiration and YouTube help.